Alrighty.
Where did that video just go?
No, you lost the video already?
Yeah, I was just gonna read it. Something about 6 cattle turned up dead or something.
What the
And I
heck?
was like, oh, maybe this is aliens.
I doubt it. It's probably just fucking poisoned water from all the train derailments.
Well, cattle mutilations also. But anyway,
Oh,
we don't
shit.
have to talk about that
We're
right now.
rolling
Are we live?
Wild
We
West. Yes, sir. We are
we doing the
indeed.
thing?
We
Okay,
are
cool.
doing the dang thing. How's everybody doing this week? Hope y'all had a good week. I had a pretty, I wouldn't say crazy week, but I definitely had my sleep schedule fucking nuked twice. Well, once.
Yeah,
I
mine
guess.
is nuked all the way into the ground right now. Your boy is tired.
Yeah, well, you had a quick turnaround. I went from working an 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift to literally the next day working a 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift, which was super great.
Yeah, how's that been?
Actually, this 3 p.m. shift I don't mind as much than as opposed to the 11 a.m. shift. Mainly because we don't stay till 11. Once the work's done, we go home. So
Well, that's kind of nice.
that's pretty nice. But yeah, the 11 to 7 one was so weird. Like, yeah, I could stay up a little later and I didn't have to go to work as early, but this getting off at 7 sucks. Now that it's like 3 p.m. and then like I don't know, it just feels better. I could still get stuff done during the day and then go to work instead of like not really having time to do anything before 11 and then definitely not getting able to do anything because 7 p.m. is fucking everything's closed. So
Yeah.
that's not too bad.
You've
And I
been-
got to bring the dog to work. The dog's
I was
going
gonna
to
say,
work with me.
You've been taking the doggo though, so
Oh yeah. So yeah,
little morale boost at work.
little morale boost. It's great. Everybody loves him, and he's the best. So it's made work a lot more bearable.
I used to bring Charlie in to that office all the time too, and it does make work a lot better. Gives you at least something to do. Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, it makes everybody happy because there's a dog there, and he's good. He doesn't get in the way or anything, so that's real nice.
I just got back from Kerrville, Texas, winning a golf tournament.
Big man, winning big golf tournaments. It's not that big, but we're gonna say it is.
Hey, we won, and
Dub's a dub,
it
baby.
was especially with a bunch of guys you went to college with. It's nice carrying around that trophy. You feel like you're the belle of the ball.
100%.
Wielding that thing around. A lot of envious eyes looking our way, but we did it.
Hell yeah. Alex won a golf tournament, and I flew too close to the sun my golf outing this week and said this one doesn't count.
You got to watch those front nine beers; they'll
The
creep up
f-
on you.
they crept up on us way too fast. We also like my buddy tossed me one, and I was like, "Well, fuck, dude, I can't open this for a while now because you threw it at me, and now it's all shaken up." He's like, "Well, guess we're shotgunning it," and I was like, "Oh god, dude." I was we're 30. What are you doing? We don't do this anymore.
There was there was a lot of alcohol being consumed at that tournament, and I
Yeah,
was
how'd that
looking
go for you?
around. It went fine.
It
Red
did.
Bulls, Diet Pepsis, waters. Um, so
Had
just
plenty of people come up to you and go, "Hey, man, that's really great that you're sober. I'm proud of you,
yeah,
dude."
you
Pow.
know, most of them didn't even realize that you're not drinking. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That's
yeah.
the one of the interesting parts about it. You think it's going to be a lot different. We posted that 16 underscore.
Hmm.
We thought for sure there's going to be some cheaters out here that are coming in at 18 under, kind of the nature of the game. So we turn our
Yeah.
scorecard in. We had dinner reservations that we were already running behind for.
Oh shit.
Scoot out of there real quick, go straight from the course to have dinner at this really nice place in Kerrville. One of the guys I was playing with knows the owner really well.
Oh, nice.
He's got, everything prepped for us, the table. Like it felt like us being a celebrity, dude,
Yeah, it
honestly.
felt like you got real VIP treatment.
Sit down. I'm crushing some fried oyster nachos, which were fantastic.
Ooh,
And
that's a mashup I didn't see ever happening, but it sounds bussin'.
oh, it was so good, dude. So good. Yeah. Again, eating high on the hog. And the fourth guy that we got paired with in our group, he played baseball at Shriner also, but way younger than me. I think he was like flat 10 years younger than me.
Mm.
He texts us, he texts me, we're sitting at dinner. He goes, dude, we won. What?
What?
And he's like, we won the tournament. I'm like, no way. We won by 4 strokes.
Damn.
And so we're sitting at dinner. We're like, oh shit, we weren't gonna go to this beer garden like event thing afterwards, but we're like, we should probably go and like take pictures with the trophy.
Yeah.
So we roll in and they're like, oh, cheater, blah blah blah. I'm like,
I'm sober, so
we
no.
won by 4 strokes.
Yeah.
You guys weren't even close. I mean, even if we would have shaved a stroke, which we didn't, you guys weren't even in the conversation. We
Yeah.
beat the brakes off you guys. I had 2 saucy second shots on a par 5 to give us like 5 feet for eagle.
Ooh.
And
You love it.
that was the difference maker. Those two eagles were huge.
That is big. That's real big. Yeah, the best I had on the round I played, and I don't know, so there was a lot of wind, and I think this one shot, because there's no way my forward should have carried this far, but I fucking got a hold of it, and I think the wind was at my back. It was real gusty, but I fucking smoked one 260 with the forward, because that's what the GPS told me when I found my ball, and I was like, this is a forward. The best I get out of this one on a one that I rope is probably 230, so I got an extra 30 yards out of it, but I think it's because the wind was at my back. That was the best shot I had. Felt pretty good after that one.
Wind at the back, probably fairway still fairly hard right now, giving you some good.
So they are, thank God, and the greens are finally starting to repair themselves after being aerated and sanded twice.
Yep.
But they're still a little bumpy. But yeah, so that was a good one. But yeah, I could not
Do you
chip for
guys
my
have a
life
course?
yesterday.
Do you guys have a course on base? Is that the one you play at most
Yeah,
frequently?
that's the one I play.
Okay.
It's literally 5 minutes from my house. I need to get out another weekend here, so we got still got a lot of season left, but I need to get out soon and go play a couple of the other ones around. See what happens. But yeah, that's the one I play most frequently because it's literally 5 minutes down the street from my house.
Congrats
Which
to
is
your mother in the chat for hitting
oh,
a
I haven't even.
46 at Topgolf.
All right, Mom. I'm sorry, I didn't even pop chat out yet.
I'm not sure what 46 means necessarily.
Mother, what were you playing, like a game? What game were you playing? I don't even know what. Like, I haven't been to Top Golf. I went to Top Golf, but the last time we were out there, I was just like smoking couple balls off the second deck and um,
I was gonna say,
playing,
what were you smoking?
smoking
Like your
cigarettes,
mom's here, Ben. Yeah, just ripping heaters.
ripping heaters. She'd be very fucking sad if
Yeah, we
I'm
would
doing
both be
that.
disappointed in you.
Um, only when I'm drunk. And that's few and far between. And it's only if people have them. So you hit a 46 at Top Golf. I would have to go back to Top Golf and figure out what you mean from that, mother, unless you
We're
can tell me
we're
right
gonna
now.
say it's really good though, whatever that
Yeah,
means.
whatever it is, you nailed it, Mom.
Yep.
Also, Mom, since you're here, are you tracking that Mother's Day episode with you and Nancy?
Oh yeah, I need to get Nancy on the card for that. I need to get.
Pretty bold. I'm trying to hit the flag thingy. Okay. All right. Well,
I
sounds like
did
you did
have
a quality job, Mom.
a couple guys from college say that they had listened to some episodes of the podcast and they actually really enjoyed it. I was like,
Hell yeah.
oh, that's kind of nice to know and hear that. Like one of my best friends, he was like, no, it's actually really good. I actually really like it. I like listening to it. I'm not just telling you that because you're my friend. I'm like, oh, hey, I didn't even know you listen. That's cool. So shout out to Ryan.
Hell yeah, Ryan.
He wanted to be on this episode to talk about the golf round recap to brag a little bit more because I told him I'm not gonna really brag about it, but
brag away, it's fine.
Felt good to be a champion. Feels good to be a champion, and I will be going back next year to defend my title. And I think I'm bringing the boy Hugo with.
Y'all are about to as the ringer.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. If we get Hugo in the mix, replace Jack, which I love Jack. Jack's a good dude.
But Jack's
that young guy that they randomly paired us with.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't use a whole lot of Jack shots. He had a couple really clutch ones, but I think Hugo might have brought a little bit more to the table.
You guys would have been up by like 7 strokes at that point.
After that second eagle, man, the vibes were high. The boys were rolling.
We were rolling on that one.
Turned around, par 3. Ryan, my buddy, sticks one to like 12 feet. Walk up there, he drains the putt. Huge. Boys are rolling.
Huge.
Vibes are high.
Dude, I had one, and I can't believe I did this because I haven't topped a ball into the water on this one. So hole number 3 on the base course. It's your tee box, the pond, literally right in front of you. Little expanse of like very thick rough, huge bunker in front of the green. Bunker with a high wall and for like against the green, and then the green, right? Normally, it's an easy shot. It's like 80 yards. Usually just take my sand wedge off the tee box, up, over, easy peasy. Landed on there. Did not up over easy peasy this one yet that day at all. Absolutely, like, looked up right before I hit it and topped the bejesus out of it. It hits the pond. And normally when you hit the pond, it'll skip, and there's like a wood wall at the back end, and it just kind of hits that, falls back in. Skipped it off the pond and rolled it into the bunker. Unintentional, just fucking pink off the water and in the bunker. And the guys over on 5, because the 3 greens here and 5 tee box literally right beside it, they were watching and it just went up in the bunker. The dudes were like, yeah. And I was like, I have no idea how I did that. I could not recreate that if you paid me.
Just like I drew it up.
Yeah, I was like
I drew
today's
it up.
trick shot day, baby.
Yep. You've seen the Masters, right?
So my buddy, that I played with, he Snapchatted, was like, haha, splash. And I was like, no, dude, you didn't see that skip into the bunker? And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I hit it and it skipped and went in the bunker. And he was like, no. And we got up there, and sure enough, there it is, sitting in the bunker. And he was like, how the I was like, what, dude, you never watched the Masters par 3 contest where they skip them across the water?
Yeah, dude, you didn't catch the memo today?
I'm basically Scotty Scheffler, dude.
Basically. You just missed the green, but that's okay.
Yeah,
you still accomplished the skip, still got it over the water.
Yeah,
so.
and I didn't have to take a drop, so huge.
Your mom said, and say what? Send me the details.
Yeah, so Mother's Day, Mom, I'll email you the link. You're going to have to download a new app because we're not doing it over Zoom because Zoom sucks. We're going to do it on Discord like we've been doing. be Mother's Day. It's May 14th. It'll be you and Alex's mom on, and we'll just chit chat with you guys and probably just have embarrassing stories told about both of us for an hour and a half.
Probably so, but it'll be fun.
No, okay. So Loki liked the beach. Yeah. So chat. So my mom's asking. I sent a video to the family group chat today of my dog up at the beach. It was his first time going to the beach today. So I took him up there. The intent was to go to this bar up there that was like, had a dog area outside. Turns out I needed to apparently provide proof of rabies vaccination, which I have buried somewhere in my house for him. And also it was a $10 cover charge because they had a band. So I was like, nah. So took him just across the street over to the beach. His first time on the beach. We were walking around and I was like, all right, buddy, let's go down and take a look at the water and see what happens. Because he doesn't, like, when we go out hiking, when we've been out hiking and stuff and there's ponds around, he doesn't really go like jump in the water. Hasn't really like done that with him. So as the surf is rolling up the beach, he keeps like sidestepping away from it. And there was one that came up pretty fast, and he got absolutely sideswiped by it, and he was like kind of almost tumbled, and he was not about the he was not about the surf. He liked running around on the sand and everything, but he was not about the surf. After he got hit the first time, though, he was less skittish about it the second time. He did get hit. He did get hit one more time, and he kind of just took it like a champ. But yeah, that first one that rolled in pretty high, he was not a big fan about.
I always forget that you're so close to the beach. Like,
Yeah, and this town was an hour away. I could probably go straight from where I am, just straight east, and get to like I want to say it's Island Beach State Park in probably 45 minutes.
the beach, like beaches in my brain are such like a South thing, like Mexico, especially growing up right by South Padre Island. It never sees like my brain doesn't associate like Northeast with beach, you
And
know?
so neither did mine for the longest time when before I moved up here, I was always like, yeah, beaches like South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Gulf, like, and then California. That's where I was like, that's the beach. And then North Carolina when we lived over there. And I always forget that the Northeast has beaches, but like you don't really ever hear anybody going because colder and that water is cold as shit. It's also
I was
only
just gonna say
April.
that water is freezing up there, right?
It's also only April, so there's like we got a ways to go before that warms up anyway. But even in the like height of the summer in July and August, it's still not like super warm. But apparently the Atlantic is warmer than the Pacific. Apparently Pacific Ocean is fucking freezing.
That's what I don't know.
That's what I hear about, the beaches over at California is that water's like mad cold, but it would be different if I was in Hawaii. I think that water would be real nice all the time, but
We were so spoiled at
alas.
South Padre, man. You know,
Mm.
middle of the summer you'd be getting in and it's like bath water almost. It's just
When we
so
went last year,
perfect.
it was great.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
was great, and then we got caught in that rainstorm right there, which was super fun.
Playing
Until
spike ball
yeah,
in the
until
rain.
Thor decided to send a lightning bolt down, and then we were like, "Pack it up,
Yep, it's
pack it up."
time to get out of the forest.
And
Time to go
right
home.
as we packed that up, dude, had to turn the cap around because that rain was coming in sideways. Like,
Oh
or that
my
was Forrest
gosh.
Gump, dude. That was Forrest Gump. Like sometimes it rains sideways. It's like I was like machine gunned in the face with those things. That was crazy. Good times though. Good times.
Good times, great oldies. Yeah, that classic beach torrential downfall, and then 20 minutes later, it's sunny skies again. Like,
Mhm.
okay,
All right. Very cool.
that's the beach for you.
Yeah. I'm so glad I
Except,
rode down with Danny. Holy fuck. I could not have done
yeah.
another 6 a.m. flight out of Brownsville. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, yeah. On the way to San Antonio, so I go to Houston first, and then hop on a connecting flight from Houston to San Antonio.
Mhm.
Everything's going perfect. Get on the plane, sit down. You know, like every other flight I've ever taken. Like next step is, we're in the air
Mhm.
any minute now. Captain comes over. He's like, "Yeah, there's some weather moving out of San Antonio. We're waiting for it to clear out, so it'll be about 10 minutes before we push back."
Whatever,
No
dude.
big
10
deal.
minutes. Yeah.
Whatever. 10 minutes goes by. Yeah, we're still waiting for this weather to clear. And now we will have to reroute a little bit. And so they're going to bring us some more fuel so we have enough fuel to get there. And so it's going to be another 15, 20 minutes. cool, whatever, not that big of a deal. Still, you're like, okay, we're like at 30 minutes now. That time goes by. Well, if you guys want to get up and stretch your legs, you can go ahead and do so now because, it's going to be another 10 minutes or so.
God.
3 hours later, I think it was.
They didn't even
Two and a half.
did they even deplane? Like y'all deplane, or you just sat on
Well,
the
that
plane
was
for
the
two
thing is that
hours?
you weren't, a lot of people just sat there for like 2.5 hours, just sitting in their seat because they said you could get up and stretch your legs, but not to go back into like the airport.
Yeah.
And I was with this other older guy, and he was like, I'm going back in there and sitting down. Like, I'm going to go. He was going to go have a beer, and I was like, I'm going to go watch a little bit of Sports Center in there, grab another soda, sit down, wait. They say, okay, now let's see, the flight was originally scheduled for 6:30, 6:30. So now they say it's going to be 9 o'clock we depart. And right after that, they send another text that says 8 o'clock departure. And we're like, okay, 6. So we go running back onto the plane because it's 7:45.
Yeah.
Oh, no, just kidding. It's back to 9 now. It's like, who does somebody know what's going on? Can somebody just like tell us when this flight is actually going to get off the ground? Because this is a 40-minute flight from Houston to San Antonio.
Yeah.
This plane could practically fly itself on that little route. So 3 hours later, yeah, we took off right about 9:10, something like that.
Jesus.
Brutal. Sitting
I
on a plane, just waiting for it to finally get in the air. Nobody can give you a straight answer of what's going on.
I thankfully haven't had anything that brutal happen flying in a little while. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, for when I come to Omaha at the end of next month.
It can never just go like a little bit bad for me when it comes to planes. It's either going to be a huge mass inconvenience pain in the ass, or everything is going to go perfect. There's no it's not like I never get one 15-minute delay that's like, oh, they're just running a little behind. Okay, cool. Every time I get one little delay, I'm like, here we go. I don't like this. I know my track record with these
Yeah,
little
I
delays.
think I've had one time where it was like a little small delay, but yeah, every time it's like one little delay, it's usually like it's a whole thing. Well, that time when I was coming down to your bachelor party, they freaking had to get us off a plane and onto another one. So something broke. That's the one I left my wallet on. Thank God they hadn't towed it back to the hangar, and I was able to run back on.
Yeah.
Somebody was able to run back on there and get it for me. And then I think coming back, might have been coming back. They just straight forgot to bring the plane from the hangar to the terminal. So we had to wait for 30
Happens.
minutes while they were like, "Oh shit."
Happens
Like,
all the time. They're like, "Oh wait, you didn't bring the plane? No, I didn't. I thought you were bringing the plane. No, no. Oh shit, we gotta go get the plane."
yeah, so I had to wait for 30 minutes while they towed it from the hangar across like 17 different freaking runways to get it over there because they always have to wait for whatever's taxiing it or, taking off and landing. But yeah, I was like, how do you just forget to bring the plane, dude? You have a schedule.
Happens all the time. Happens all the time. What happened with us is by the time the weather moved out, and one of the ladies we were kind of standing talking to called this right from the beginning. She's like, "You know what's going to happen next is the flight crew is going to time out, and they're not going to be able to fly because the regulations or whatever."
Hmm.
Um, and sure enough, as soon as the weather cleared out, well, our flight crew's timed out, and we need to get a new flight crew. So by the time they found a new flight crew, then the pilots had timed out. So we needed a new flight crew, got a new flight crew. Then we didn't have any pilots. So then by the time they got two pilots there, again, this is all like 3 hour ordeal.
Yeah.
I hate traveling so much. I mean, Big Cat from Barstool said it really well I think it was on the Yak. He was like, nobody likes traveling. We're all in it together. Nobody likes traveling. We do it because we're trying to get somewhere to be with somebody, vacation or whatever.
I might be the exception to that because even with like the delays and stuff that happen, I still like traveling. I like going through the airports and flying on planes. I'm weird, I guess. I thoroughly enjoy it. Oh yeah. Oh, you're right, Mom. I do remember that because that one dude on the while we were sitting on the plane bought me a beer. I remember that.
When I was younger, I used to enjoy it more just because it made me feel like grown up and like cool, you know? And I'm to the point now where like every time there's going to be a flight involved, I'm just like, shit. Oh, I hate it. It's
I don't know.
so
I still enjoy it,
inconvenient.
which is probably why I'm trying to be a pilot at some point because I thoroughly enjoy flying.
Yeah.
But the good
I
thing about being a pilot is when I'm up there, I won't have to listen to the babies crying around me. Just shut the door.
You see that one video of that guy freaking out on the baby on the plane?
No.
No, you haven't?
Uh-uh.
Oh, Dave Portnoy retweeted and was like, "This guy gets it because he complains about babies on planes all the time. He's a dick about it, and he knows he's being a dick about it. But
Yeah.
this old guy on the plane is like, the flight attendant or whatever is saying, 'Sir, you need to calm down.' He's like, 'I ain't fucking calming down. You calm that baby down. That baby down. That baby screaming. Why can't I scream?' And they're like, 'You're a grown man, sir.' He's like, 'I don't give a fuck.' He's freaking out like, 'You want me to calm down? Get that baby to calm down.' Why can that baby scream and I can't scream?"
That's hilarious. Dude, first of all, can we just say normalize like sedating babies for flights?
Yeah, or there's a reason I have in-ear noise canceling headphones that I bring on every flight. And that's because if I'm sitting by a baby, those things are going in. Music on my phone, podcast, whatever's getting turned up as loud as it is. I had one, I think it was coming back from my bachelor party. Baby just losing its mind on the flight. I'm like, I can see you crying, but I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I know you're pissing other people off, but I'm cool.
That's the good thing
This
about the ones I have, the freaking Google Pixel Buds, the pros, the noise cancellation on those is just primo.
Yeah. You gotta know what you're doing when you're flying, man. You gotta have some situations or some backup plans in a situation like that, because babies are on planes, brother.
Mom
Babies
said that's what
are on
Benadryl's
planes.
for. Worked great for me. Damn, was I a screaming baby and y'all just used to pop me a Benny and call it a day? Hey, you know what? Shout out to Mom and Dad for knowing that I was a fucking maniac as a child. It
A
just
lot of
knocked
parents do that. It's a smart move.
more parents should do that.
Just give them a little Benadryl. Let
Y'all
'em
heard
go
it here
right off
first.
to
What in
sleep.
the World podcast is an advocate for giving your children, your small children on planes, Benadryl before the plane takes off.
Drug your children, people. Don't drug them. Just give them a little bit of Benadryl.
Give
They'll
them a little
sleep.
Benadryl, make them go.
They'll be just
And
fine. They'll thank
call
you
it a
for
day.
it. Your neighbors will thank you for it. You know,
They'll
it'll
sleep.
be
You'll be happy. The plane will be happy. Everybody have a great day.
exactly.
Give
It
your
all
small
works out
children
just fine.
just a little bit of Benadryl, and everybody's better off for it.
Yes, absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. Give it to them.
And then, yes, just not too much.
Not too much.
Just
Follow the package
enough.
directions and talk to your doctor if you need to, but like enough to make them go to sleep.
Yes,
Mom said you have that
absolutely.
15-hour flight to Australia. You needed the help to sleep. Oh yeah, probably because I was fucking 3 years old and wound up like a top because it was my first time on an airplane. Yeah, no shot.
That'll do it.
No shot. I was going to sleep. Shout out Benadryl. Can we get a sponsorship? This week's episode is
Somebody
brought
needs
to you
to
by the
sponsor
best
us.
allergy medicine known to man, Benadryl. When you really need to
Yes.
kick your allergies in the ass.
Do you have a baby? Are you going on a trip soon?
Don't give us a script to
Buy
read
some
for our
Benadryl.
sponsorship, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, we're not reading this. Do you have a small child and are you flying anytime soon? Then Benadryl is the drug for you. Forget
That's right.
allergies. This was made with the intent to knock you out.
Did you see that woman who quote unquote foresaw 9/11 predicted nuclear explosions for 2023?
Oh, cool. We're gonna get some fucking nukes.
Not to totally change the subject.
Um,
It's just one of those. This is still the Baba Vanga.
Uh,
We've talked about her in the past.
oh, that one? No, I did not see that, but we'll see if it comes to fruition. I hope to fuck it doesn't.
This is the one who was picked up and thrown in that tornado, right? Baba Vanga, I think. It's a name that when I see it, yeah, she was blinded in that dust storm.
She got blinded and then got gifted the all-seeing eye at the same time.
She did. At just 12 years old, she received that gift from God to see the future.
Allegedly.
And allegedly.
If you
What else
throw
was I
enough
gonna say?
vague stuff out there and throw a couple of years on it, just something will stick, dude. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. A couple of noodles will stick.
A couple of noodles. She'll get a few.
Let's hope that this
Uh,
noodle that she just threw does not stick.
God dang it! I was gonna say something else about that. Oh, I listened to Trump's interview on the Nelk Boys, the Full Send
Okay.
podcast.
Yeah.
It was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Interesting.
He really he was very much himself,
I
but
see.
cooler than I thought he was gonna be. Like
Words I would
he
not think you would use to describe Trump ever.
well, I know, and he's still not a good guy. Don't get me wrong. Like he's done a lot of really bad shit and treated people awfully, and I still don't think he's a good human at his core. But I expected him to be a lot more like boisterous and a lot more chest beating, if
Mm-hmm.
you will. And he really, like I said, he came off a lot
He just
cooler than I was
played it cool.
expecting him. Yeah,
Maybe
he
he
just
learned a little
seemed.
bit from his first go around as president. Was like, maybe I should not be such a loud and boisterous dickhead.
Yeah, and and he's still, Sleepy Joe and all that shit talking about Biden and
Yeah.
worst president in history, blah blah blah, and still very he's still Trump, but I don't know, it was just kind of it was interesting. I would
Now,
listen to it for sure.
did you guys can correct me if I'm wrong because I just kind of stopped caring after I saw that he got indicted. Did the charges get dropped in that?
Oh,
Or is
that'll
that
be an
still
ongoing.
ongoing? Okay, I couldn't remember if
Yeah.
something had happened with it or not. Oh, speaking of charges getting dropped, did you see Alec Baldwin got all his charges dropped from that accidental shooting for that movie, Rust?
He did. I
Yeah.
did not see that, but it
Yeah,
doesn't
I saw it.
surprise me.
All right, Mom, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Love you.
So I wonder who is getting charged in that.
I think they're just gonna let it go. Like, who are they gonna charge? I mean, they could charge the prop people, I guess, but
I thought that's who they were charging, and then he was being looped in because of choices he had made to like have a real weapon on scene or
I don't know. But yeah, I just saw it pretty much all yeah. It was actually on Jerry News. I'll pull it back up real fast. I scrolled through
yeah, we're
Instagram the other day
pleased
and
with the decision to dismiss the case against Alec Baldwin, and we encourage a proper investigation into the facts and circumstances.
yep. So according to the
Baldwin's
lawyers,
next
oh no, go
court
ahead.
appearance in the case, so he shows up again on May 3rd. First, oh no, it had been set for May 3rd, but then now apparently it's been dropped.
Yeah, it's all been dropped. So who knows who they go after on this one now?
Who knows? Yeah, that's still so crazy to me that something like that can happen on a real set, but
Yeah, and I mean, he could have done his due diligence by double checking, the prop gun to make sure. But also, he's an actor, and that's not his job to do that.
yeah,
There's a whole team of people there to make sure that doesn't happen, and they drop the ball, and we had an accident. So a very
that's how she
unfortunate
goes.
accident for sure. But there should be no like criminal proceedings for any of that.
why everybody, whether you like guns or not, should have just a little bit of basic gun safety knowledge just in
Hmm.
case you ever encounter something like that.
Yeah. Well, and say what you will about Will Smith, but that dude has been in enough like movies that he actually um like will actively tell people to stop doing whatever they're doing with the prop guns, even if they're like prop guns. He does weapon safety like crazy. I was watching a
Oh,
movie.
this. Sorry, not to totally change the
No, you're good.
subject, but these Texas cows they are kind of linking that, not linking them, but they're mutilations,
Hmm.
mutilated cows. Um, Straight, clean cut with apparent precision, removing hide around one of the sides of the animal's mouth. The tongue was also removed with no blood spill. Ranchers reported no predators or birds having scavenged the remains. So this is very much in line with like cattle mutilations that oftentimes get linked to extraterrestrial reasons.
Or it's just
Or
some dudes.
could be,
They're just some dudes doing hood rat shit.
could be.
And if
There
they're
there
doing
are
it in
definitely,
Texas and they get caught, then they're going Wild West style with that type of justice, and it's not going to make it to the cops, and they'll just find a couple of guys dead somewhere.
yeah. There have been some really interesting mutilations with, like ranchers finding cows completely drained of all their blood, precision cuts, no blood spilled on the ground around them, like weird shit like that. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know what to think about the mutilization thing, but
I've always wondered why aliens would choose cows. Why cows? Why are they just picking up cows and cutting cows up? What's the point? Like, what purpose do like why? Like, are you what research you trying to figure out why we have so many of them? They're for food. It's not hard to figure out.
that's what I don't understand either.
Or is it like the South Park episode where the cows are the aliens
Maybe it is.
and they're having wars, dude? The other aliens are coming here and murking some cows.
I I don't know. I also don't know why aliens would have any sort of care or desire to watch such a primitive being, but I don't know. Maybe the bees ask the same thing when we go into their hives to get honey. They're like, "What do these guys want with this? Leave us alone."
I literally threw that up 2 hours ago. Why do you want it?
Yeah,
And we're just like, nom,
exactly.
nom, 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 it's so good. And the bees are
Yeah,
like, ew, dude, that's
yeah.
puke. And we're like, tastiest puke I ever had.
I don't know why, but Jeremy Corbell is a fun follow, and that whole Arrow program that Biden set up that we talked with
Mm-hmm.
Martin Keller about. Um, there's more and more videos, reports
I
coming out
saw
from that. Did
something that we're up to like the government's tracking like 640 some odd UAPs.
Oh, I'm sure it's nuts.
Like there's been that many. Like they're tracking at least that many UAPs, and they're just like, yeah, we got no fucking idea what these are. And I'm just like,
Did you,
okay.
did you see the video that came out most recently? A lot of people are claiming, again, stop me if you've heard this before, that it was a plane flying by a deflated weather balloon. Which, from the angle, I mean, they're going very fast. I suppose it could be that, but it also looks a whole hell of a lot like what Bob Lazar explained. Cylindrical shape, that little bubble flying underneath. It's
Mm-hmm.
not on top for like headroom. It's like underneath,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the caption was "first time confirmed recorded UFO in history," and it was like, I don't know if you could say confirmed hundred
Yeah, it
percent
didn't.
because
You
it
didn't like
could be
land
a
in
lot of
front of
different
you,
things.
and fucking here comes the aliens walking out the bitch. Yeah,
Exactly.
that
It's
is what it's gonna have to be for me to be like, oh, confirmed 100%. Something flying in the sky and a fuzzy phone photo
yeah.
is not gonna confirm it for me because, like you said, it could be anything. Could have been a balloon caught in the jet stream and just. Whoop. elongated out. Like
Yep.
it's
It
gonna have
could
to. I'm
be
gonna have to see video evidence that is proved not CGI'd, edited of the motherfucker landing, and
those
whatever walks out walks out. Something that does not look human. I'm like,
those
okay.
little graylings start blurping around. Then I'll be, yep, that'll be the day.
And then the next thing I'll see is the friggin' trees light up from an M60. We just absolutely massacre them for no reason.
Although I've said I've said this before. The two predictions I had for 2023, I'm sure you remember, we're gonna get confirmed aliens,
Mm-hmm.
and crypto's gonna bounce back in a big way. And crypto's bouncing back little by
Little by little, I needed to bounce back harder. I need.
she's coming back though. Just inch by inch. It's coming. It's coming back.
Is my Voyager account to stop logging me out?
Is that the Coinbase like app that you use?
Yeah, I switched from Coinbase to Voyager.
Gotcha.
When I did it because
I've been Coinbase the entire time.
I was just somebody told me about, like, it was Voyager was better because it like fees or some shit. I don't remember. I still have a little bit left in Coinbase, but I can't remember. Anyways,
I get a little bit of like a APR on some of the coins that I have. So Coinbase will say, "Hey, do you want to put any of your money into like this account, and we'll give you like a 5% APR on it?" And, yeah, sure.
yeah,
It'll take like $10 a month or whatever.
I'm still down half my investment in crypto right now. It hasn't changed enough for me.
Diamond hands, baby.
I mean, it's just sitting there. It's just gonna sit there and sit there and sit there.
Just let them sit.
That's all they're doing. I need to reset my TD Ameritrade password so I can see how my stocks that I fired and forgot on are doing.
Yeah, that's what a fun time that was with the whole. I just saw Bed Bath and Beyond officially filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, R.I.P. to a legend from back in the day.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be closing any of the stores, but I think they had to file bankruptcy to clear up debt or whatever. Because I'm sure they're still gonna stay open. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't know for sure they're gonna stay open. But back when GameStop and Bed Bath and Beyond were all making that run, that was fun times.
Yeah, I got in, I think, a little bit too late on that, so we'll see. All right, well, never mind. I already did reset my TD Ameritrade, and I just got in, but it's the weekend, so the markets are closed, and I don't know what's going on.
Yep. Hey, Monday's right around the corner, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
My days are so screwed up. Leaving Thursday, coming back on Saturday. The girls just got home this morning.
They had a real quick trip, too.
They did. So Kristen decided to surprise Reagan because she watches that A for Adley show on YouTube.
Yeah, I've heard
and she had some movie premiering this week. They do like little animated movies, put them on YouTube and stuff. And so Kristen flew her and Reagan to Salt Lake City, where they're from, to go to that movie premiere thing.
That's cool. I saw the Instagram reels. Reagan looked just fucking happier than all heck.
She got to meet Adley's brother and Adley's dad, which
Did you
was
get to meet Adley?
No, Adley wasn't there for whatever reason. But the dad was there and the brother was there.
I saw that. He like signed her sweatshirt.
Yeah, apparently is as nice in person as you would expect him to be from the videos. They're just found out Reagan was from Nebraska. They'd come here for this and given her posters and sweat. They paid for the sweatshirt, but they got like keychains and all kinds of.
Gave her a bunch
shit.
of little swag bag stuff.
Yep. Apparently the sweater and like one of the little keychains was like $26, but their card reader was down. And one of the guys was like, just give me $25 cash and we'll call it good. And loaded her up with a bunch of free stuff also. So
that's super cool.
She had the best time ever, which is awesome.
That's cool. That's very cool. I'm happy for her.
Me too. That's one of those things where she'll
That's
remember
a
that for a long time.
yeah, it's a core memory for sure.
Yep. Very cool mom move of my wife.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Kristen.
Shout out. She was looking at the flight
Coolest
tickets the
mom
other night.
ever.
Yes, coolest mom ever for sure. She was looking at the flights the other night, and I was like, book it. Just book it. That'll be so fun. She's like, if I don't book it, I'm going to be thinking about it all weekend. Like, exactly.
Exactly. Just do it. Sometimes you just got to pull the trigger.
Life's too short. Book the trip.
Facts. Actually, speaking of booking the trip, I need to see if fucking. I highly doubt it, but I'm gonna see if any of those, if the flights have fucking gotten any cheaper for. Why did Abby have to get fucking married on Memorial Weekend? She couldn't have picked any other weekend.
Flight's pretty expensive that weekend.
Brother, it's Memorial Day weekend, so fucking opening of summer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
It is. It's not great. Let's see. Yeah, because flying out, I can't fly out on a. I'm gonna have to fly out on a Thursday and come back on fucking a Wednesday. Try and get those middle of the week ones so they're a little bit cheaper because I can't. I can't do it, dude. I can't fly on a Friday or Saturday. It's gonna be way too expensive.
Those weekend flights, man.
Well, yeah. So, pro tip, chat: don't book weekend flights. Try and book middle of the week flights. It's when they're the cheapest.
Yes. And the
Because
airports are the least crowded.
yeah, everybody wants to go on weekends. That's like, oh, work off. Finally got work off. Blah blah blah. Don't middle of the week flights, baby. It's when you're gonna get them cheap.
Yep.
All
You know,
right.
when you
Well,
don't get them
that's
cheap is
not.
on a Thursday.
Oh God. Well, the cheapest one we got. I'm gonna be getting into Omaha late. That's what's gonna have to be. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into. I'm gonna have to take a flight that's like late, like leave Philadelphia at 6:45 at night and get into Omaha at 10:30.
That's not bad. That's a good
Not
time to
terrible.
travel.
Yeah, I mean it'll be pretty
4 hours
slow.
round trip.
Yeah, 4.5 hours. ORD.
Just really,
What freaking stop is ORD? You're
that's
not gonna. You're
Orlando.
gonna send me all the way to fucking Orlando?
I'm sure they will.
That's the first time. The first time I've ever looked at these flights. And oh no, there's another one. I'll get in at 11, but it's a stop in Charlotte. I love Charlotte Airport. I know I've said this before on this podcast, but Charlotte, North Carolina Airport's one of my favorite airports to fly into. I love that airport.
That's the airport that I got stranded for a night at.
Oh no, so you have bad juju with that airport.
I did not have any clothes in my checked bag or in my
Oh.
carry-on bag. Finally get to Charlotte. I think that was Charlotte. Might have been Raleigh. Anyway, get to the airport. The guy's like, "Oh yeah, just call the hotel and ask for the shuttle to come pick you up because they gave me a hotel voucher."
Mm-hmm.
Call the airport or the hotel. Yeah, no, we don't have a shuttle. I'm like, sick. Go to call an Uber. Everybody in the world is trying to get an Uber. So that was a nice, $60 Uber ride to go 10 miles and also pass probably 5 hotels on my way there. I'm like,
thanks.
sick. This is cool. Get there, shower, but I don't have any clothes to put back on.
Ugh.
Like I'm wearing the same airport
clothes you've been wearing all day. Yeah.
So you shower and you put on the same socks and underwear again, and you're like, I feel like that I didn't even shower. Like, what was the
Why
point
did I
of
even
this?
get in the damn thing?
I felt clean for all of 10 minutes, and now I'm putting these gross socks back on.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna do? Got to the hotel probably about 1, 2 in the morning. The flight left the next morning at 5.
Oh my God.
So sleep for 2 hours real quick.
Yeah, just take a 2-hour nap. At that point, if that's what had happened, I just said fuck it and I'd found somewhere to sleep in the airport.
Dude,
I would have just roughed it in the airport. I would
I
have hoped to God they had one of those little shops where they have the pods, the rooms where you can just go and pay an astronomical fee for a couple hours and just take a nap in that thing.
Yeah. I really thought hard about it, but I was like, well, if they're putting me in a hotel, I'm gonna take the hotel and at least have, like a room to myself and I can shower.
Hmm.
But then again, that's one of those things you don't think about. If you shower and you don't have any clothes, you're like, oh yeah, this is the only
Fuck,
pair of
I
underwear I
forgot
have.
about
This
this.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I gotta put on the same old airport clothes, go and do it all again the next day.
Yep, that's why I went and invested in a brand new luggage set where I will rarely ever use the biggest bag they have in there. The last one I got's a carry-on size, like hard shell bag, and I can stuff that bitch. And I put pretty
Hmm.
much all the clothes I'm gonna need for the trip I'm going on in that thing. That way it's with me. I don't have to worry about it. I traveled enough, I learned. You live and you learn.
I used to never check a bag, and I still avoid it like the plague if I can. But
I
when
do
you're
too, and
flying
I
with
get
golf
checked.
clubs,
Yeah, that's the only thing I'll check is the golf clubs. I don't like anything else. I get a free check bag because A, military, and B, I'm an American Airlines like card holder. So
hmm
I get the free check bag. I use it to check my golf clubs.
yep,
I don't check my anything else. I just get my carry on with everything I need in it. Call it a day.
I can tell you now though that I always keep a pair of underwear and a pair of socks in my backpack when
After
I
that,
carry
what do you
on.
do? After
After
that
that,
trip,
and I remember my mom growing up saying you should always keep an outfit with you in your carry-on. Don't check it because if you get stranded somewhere, you're going to be glad. And I remember packing an outfit so many times and never once needing it. And then
and then you're just like, yeah.
the
You're like,
one
not
time,
gonna do it this time, and then all hell breaks loose.
all my toothbrush and everything was in the check bag too. Just
Oh
can't brush your teeth.
no!
No, I take that back. Um, they had
They have toothbrush and toothpaste at the hotel.
I think they might have had toothpaste, but not a toothbrush
The
because I
old
think
finger brush.
yeah, as memory recalls, I'm pretty sure I did the finger brush that night.
Been there before. That one doesn't. That one sucks.
Yeah, that's not fun. No deodorant,
Ugh.
just brutal. You realize how much of a pampered baby you are when you get separated from your stuff. Like,
Yeah.
no deodorant? How am I supposed to live like this?
I can't live in these conditions. How am I supposed
I
to live, laugh,
know.
love in these conditions?
I'm an adult, damn it. I can't be stinking at the airport, but I don't what am I gonna do?
It is what it is. Was that a flight that like was unintentionally like delayed or something, or just
Yes.
Oh, see, at that point, you're supposed to walk up to him and be like, "Yo, my flight's delayed more than like 3 hours. You're supposed to give me cash." There's fine print on that. They actually are supposed to give you like more
They're
than the value.
supposed to.
You have to
Yeah.
like fight them on it and like really press them, but they're supposed to give you like more, like double the value of what your one-way ticket fare is. So you should have walked out there with at least $1,500.
I I can't remember how that one turned out. I remember sending emails, and I think they refunded like half of the trip or something like that.
There's a bunch of fine print in like the FAA guidelines and all this other shit that you can. I've seen a bunch of videos about it. You're supposed to be able to like you should go to not the ticketing agent at the desk. They have no fucking idea. You go to the airline help desk in the airport where they're at, and you go, "Hey,
Hmm.
per these friggin' things, my flight was delayed over 3 hours. Give me the cash." And they'll be like, "Well, how about a voucher?" And you'll be like, "No, you're
In
supposed to cut you a
this
check."
in this case, they my first flight was delayed like I can't remember past the point where my connecting was
Mm-hmm.
gonna be interfered with. And as I was landing I'm pretty sure it was Charlotte, at that airport, I could see the plane that I was supposed to be on taking off because the gate we landed right next to it. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's my only shot is if that plane gets delayed a little bit and our gate is right next to where I'm going to be. But no, of course not. That one couldn't get delayed at all. And they couldn't hold it because whatever, you know.
Yeah, I've been there before where like the one flight was delayed a little bit and we were gonna cut it mad close to get there. And I told everybody that was on the plane ride, I was like, that's my next flight over there. Like I gotta get off the plane fast. And everybody's like,
Mm-hmm.
totally get it, understood. Grab my shit. I'm sprinting through the airport. I don't remember what airport it was. Sprinting through the airport because I was in one terminal and the fucking plane was in the had to be in like 3 terminals over.
Yep.
Sprinting over there, get over there right as they shut the door, and I watched the plane pull away from the bridge, and I was like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn it. So I looked up, I was like, when's the next one? Thankfully, the next one to that one was like the same terminal down a couple gates and like leaving in an hour. And I was like, thank you, God. So you had to go down there, get put on standby and hope to God they hadn't overbooked the flight. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's great. Good
And you're the
times.
psychopath that loves traveling.
I
How
do. I enjoy it a lot, even with those, because like, again, knock on wood, few and far between that I have anything like that like happen. It's very rare. Normally I smooth sailing.
I know we've talked about it before, and I don't want to beat a dead horse on this topic, but people that stand up right when the plane lands
Oh my
need to
God.
fucking relax, dude, every single time. And it pisses me off so much. Like, it makes me more angry than I really have any business being. But, like, this dad and his son are
Yep.
close to the back of the flight.
It parks at the gate and they're immediately
Soon as it
standing up.
parks, they stand up and they walk up like in front of me. They're standing in front of me now. Like they've moved up from the back of the plane. We're not going anywhere. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I hope they have a connection that they're trying to make quick, like that's justifiable
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to be tight to your next connection. I walk into the airport, see those two standing there, and they're just standing there with their thumb up their ass like they have all the time in the world. I'm like, why do you do that?
I hate people that do
Why?
that, especially the ones
So
in the
you
back of the
can
plane.
come stand in the middle of the airport before I can? Like,
The only time
sit down.
it's justifiable is if you got a tight connection. Yeah, everyone standing up is not going to make anybody get off the plane faster. Like
No.
0%. Let the
And you
first
know what
class
it is
people
going to
get up,
do?
get their shit and get off. Just go row by row. To go way faster if everybody would just sit their ass down until their row was like, I wish the flight attendants, on God, I wish the flight attendants would just walk by and be like, stand up, stand up,
Well,
stand up.
and
We
then
would get off the plane faster.
they stand in the aisle, so now everybody's all claustrophobic feeling. He's standing there with his backpack on, talking to his son like this. I'm sitting in the aisle seat right here,
Mm-hmm.
and his backpack is like in my face, like it's like
Oh,
right
they have
here.
no
And
spatial
I wanted to
awareness.
grab that fucking backpack and yank it and be like, "Would you get off of me a little bit? Like what are you doing anyway? Sit down. Go sit down. Why do you choose to do this, you fucking idiot?"
It should
Oh,
take
it
all
makes me
of
so
like
mad.
5 to 7 minutes to deplane a plane once it lands. If everybody would just go like row by row down the fucker
Just go
and
row it. That's the way it's
just
designed to go.
get up when the row in front of you has gotten their shit and move just up,
Not
up,
that difficult.
up. It would take so much. It would be so much quicker, but everybody has to be first. And I don't understand it. Like those of you that travel a lot and do this and stand up, when has it ever worked out that you got off the plane faster? I would like to know in the comments below. Tell me if it worked, because I'm going to bet
Well,
you 9 times out of 10 it doesn't, and you just look like an asshole.
that's the thing. And once again, even if you're these guys, okay, you got off the plane faster to do what? To do what exactly?
Go get a beer,
Stand around and look at your phone in the airport?
get to the freaking Applebee's, the airport Applebee's before everyone else. Like, who cares, dude? Applebee's sucks anyway.
That's
There will
another
be enough beer for you when you get there 4 minutes later than you did. Like, holy shit.
airport food always smells so good too. And then the
Mhm.
second you start eating it, you're like,
This
this
actually sucks.
is airport food. Yep, this is not a fine dining experience, that's for sure.
It's definitely not a Michelin star restaurant in the airport.
No, and I'm paying the amount that I'm paying like I'm seated at a Michelin rated,
Yeah, because
restaurant.
it's captive audience. They can just jack the prices up. So I hate eating at the airport. I
But I'll
don't
tell you
do it
what,
unless I have to.
these nachos sure taste like some pretty stock bar nachos,
That
you
shit
know?
pisses me off to no end. It's like, yeah, you want an appetizer? I don't even get main courses now. I just get an appetizer because the damn nachos are $40, and you're like, for what reason? For what reason are these nachos $40?
Oh, because like you said, you're a captive audience at an airport
So they're gonna
and you're
charge
gonna
you when
pay
the
it.
nachos were $10 at the same restaurant outside of the airport. Now you're paying $30 for nachos because you're stuck in an airport.
Exactly.
Capitalism really
Because
popped off today, baby.
that old boy that I was we were kind of in it together, he ordered a Bloody Mary in between one of those little on and offs, and $22 for a Bloody Mary. I'm like, yikes.
Damn.
He's like, for what I've paid in alcohol on this trip so far, I could have bought 30 packs in Omaha. I'm like, I bet you could have. That makes sense. I mean,
Jesus. I'm trying to remember. So I think the last time that I flew might have been for your bachelor party actually last year. No, because I flew in for your wedding. Fuck. One of those times, I started my day off with an Irish coffee at the fucking one of the things, and thankfully, that shot of JMO that she put in there was not $22. I think that a coffee ended up costing me like $12 total. But that's my superstition whenever I go fly. I have at least one drink before I get on the plane, and every time I've done that, we've had smooth sailing. The times that I
well,
the times that I haven't done that, there's always been a hiccup. So
I can tell you that I've been to a lot of airports where I've had a cocktail in my hand and I've still been delayed. So I don't think.
the the lady of traveling is not on your side.
No, I'm telling you, it's either perfect and all goes exactly according to plan, or
It's the worst
it's
flight experience of your
chaos.
life.
Yes, yes, it's chaos, and I'm gonna end up stuck in North Carolina, sleeping 2 hours at some crappy hotel without any of my belongings. And I'm gonna be really upset about it. I'm not gonna be having a good time. But
Yeah, I gotta figure out how long because if I'm gonna fly into Omaha on that Thursday, I gotta figure out if Abby has the Airbnb booked that night or if she started it on Friday. I cannot remember for the life of me.
I don't know, brother. I'm
Whatever. Yeah,
not
you don't have to
sure.
worry about it.
No, I don't. I just have to officiate and show up the day of and
Nice.
have the
Yeah.
guest room ready for you and whoever else.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what's happening tonight because if not, I'm gonna be hitting you up and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna land. I'm gonna be in at 11. I'm just gonna take an Uber to your house."
Uh, you know, you know where we're at.
True. True. All right. Well, we'll be going an hour, so
Let's. How many more? So next Sunday is the 30th. So we have a couple weeks until Mother's Day.
yeah, we've got the 30th, and then the 7th, and then Mother's Day, and then 1 week, and then the following week is when I will be there. But
Yes.
I think Abby is getting married on that Sunday, so trying to do a podcast that day will be son of a bitch.
Yes, we will not be able to do a podcast that day, but we can figure it out.
Could move it to the Monday when we both come in absolutely exhausted from playing golf,
We could do that too.
and then do a podcast and turn around and go play golf again on Tuesday, and
We can definitely do that.
and then I can leave and fly back on Wednesday.
That sounds like a great plan to me.
Yeah, I'm about that life. Just gotta get Hugo's definitely on board for the Monday. Gotta make sure just tell Jim to cancel both y'all's appointments for the Monday and Tuesday, and
Yeah. When we submit our calendars early enough, we can both take, I'm pretty sure I took majority of that next week off.
perfect.
Because yes, Abby will be married and friends will be in town, going out of town, staying in town, and we
Yeah.
will definitely play some golf.
Huge.
Will be a good time.
Great time. All right, chat with that. Bars. We're going to call it a night. But as always,
Great energy. Make sure you tell somebody you love them. okay.
Yep.
Give
Go
them a hug.
forth.
Tell them you love them. Have a
Go
great week. And
go forth and prosper. Have a great week. Tell people you love them. And we will see you guys back here next week. No guests next week as
I
of
don't
yet?
know. Not as of yet.
All
No.
right.
Like I said, I haven't been able to get anybody nailed down for uh dates yet, but I'll keep working on them.
All right. Well, as of right now, no guests for next week. No guests for the week after. Both of our mothers on the 14th. And then we'll go from there. But, anyways, you guys have a great rest of your night. And we will see you next week. Peace.
Love you guys.